Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television. Coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajurin Gelale, said the president will leave today and mark the occasion with prayers and reflection in Nigeria's commercial city of Lagos. The National Association of Nigerian Students has rejected a bill seeking a single term of 6 years for the president and state governors, describing it as anti-democratic and an attempt to stifle people's choice. 35 members of the House of Representatives, under the auspices of reformed-minded legislators, had last week proposed a bill seeking a single term of 6 years for the president and state governors. The lawmakers are equally seeking for rotation of the presidency among the 6 geopolitical zones of the country, arguing that the proposition, if implemented, would lead to a reduction in the cost of governance. However, the association, while reacting to the bill, called on Nigerians, pro-democracy groups, and the organized labor and trade unions to mobilize against it. The Association of Local Government of Nigeria has raised concerns over the proposed 62,000 naira minimum wage, insisting that if approved, the wage may put a strain on the council's financial burden. The federal government had admonished organized labor to consider the broader economic implications of its push for an unrealistic higher national minimum wage. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris, who handed down the admonition, hinted that the 250,000 naira minimum wage demanded by labor could undermine the economy, lead to mass retrenchment of workers, and jeopardize the welfare of Nigerians. A non-governmental organization, Global Association of Female Attorneys, has appealed to government and policymakers to reenact laws and formulate policies that will eradicate discrimination against vulnerable inmates who are in custodial centers without legal protections. The association made the appeal at its recent meeting held at the Federal Ministry of Justice headquarters in Abuja. Global Television correspondent tells us more. Chinelo Irele, President, Global Association of Attorneys, urged the government to effectively enforce laws to protect vulnerable indigenous people and ensuring justice for them.
For GAFA Association, we do pro bono services because we find out that indigent persons are always on the side, where they are being maltreated. They're always victims. And they cannot go to court, they don't have the amenities, they cannot sustain any legal representation.
The will of the people must count in choosing the leaders. Because the only reason why the leaders are doing this, not recognizing the humanity of the people that are lower, is because they believe they don't need them.
Other members of the association stress the need to continue creating massive awareness on social justice and ensure that the fundamental rights of indigent people are guaranteed.
Social justice is something everybody should have. It's an equal right. Everybody has equal right. But where you have some people, even some of our so-called big men who are into some dirty business, and the government hides them, or whoever hides them, and then there's no way you can get social justice.
And by the time you orientate these children, it will help. And let's say in the next 5 years, I think things will be different.
But if you give everybody the same platform to work on, then you can apportion blames.
The association further urged well-meaning individuals to support the organizations in its campaign to support indigent people and less privileged get justice, adding that the more people speak up, the more they realize they are not alone in any situation. Anthony Momodu reporting for Global Television News. Center for Disease Control and Prevention has warned the public of the increasing trend of cholera cases across the country as the rainy season intensifies. The agency, in a statement signed by its Director General, Dr. Jide Idris, said from January 1st to June 11, 2024, a total of 1,141 suspected cases and 65 confirmed cases of cholera, with 30 deaths had been reported from 96 local government areas in 30 states. The center listed the 10 states that contributed 90% of the burden of cholera as Bayelsa, Zamfara, Abia, Cross River, Bauchi, Delta, Katsina, Imo, Nasarawa, and Lagos. It, however, stated that a multiple sectorial national cholera technical working group led by the center and comprising the environment and water resources had been providing support to the affected states. A federal high court in Kano has awarded 10 million naira compensation to Emir Aminu Ado Bayero over the order for his arrest and eviction from the palace. Governor Abba Yusuf had dethroned Ado Bayero last month and ordered him to hand over power within 48 hours. However, Ado Bayero, who was out of Kano at the time the order was given, returned and moved into the mini palace in Nasarawa, following which Governor Yusuf ordered his immediate arrest. Ado Bayero also asked the court to nullify the law through which the governor deposed him and reinstated Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II. The Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, has ordered the deployment of over 743 patrol vehicles nationwide to ensure an accident-free Eid-el-Kabir. Mohammed disclosed this during a press conference in Abuja, noting that the deployment of the Eid-el-Kabir Special Patrol is scheduled to commence on June 14, 2024. Shehu said over 743 patrol vehicles and 184 administrative vehicles and 92 ambulances and 23 tow trucks and 144 motorbikes are being deployed as part of the patrol logistics. In a related development, the Kano State Police Command has banned all Durbar activities throughout the state ahead of the Eid-el-Kabir festivities. The ban order was contained in a statement by the State Police Public Relations Officer Haruna Abdullahi on behalf of the Commissioner of Police Hussaini Gumel. There had been a crisis in the town over the repeal of the Kano Emirate Council Law 2019 by the State Assembly, leading to the dethronement of 5 emirs installed in 2020 by ex-Governor Abdullahi Ganduje. The Kano State Command of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps has deployed no fewer than 3,168 personnel to cover Eid-el-Kabir celebrations in Kano State. This is contained in a statement by the command's public relations officer, Ibrahim Abdullahi, a copy of which was made available online. The commandant also tasked all officers and men to belt up and ensure the protection of all critical national assets and infrastructure as enshrined in the act establishing the corps. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, has said the federal government has commenced the audit of inmates across the 256 custodial centers in the country, which he stated that it is part of measures to decongest the facilities. A statement by the minister's media assistant, Alao Babatunde, stated that Tunji Ojo disclosed this after an inspection of the ongoing 3,000 capacity maximum security custodial center in Jaguza, Kano State, as well as the medium security custodial center in Kuje, Abuja. The federal government had conducted a similar exercise in its correctional centers across the country. And still in the news, the French Embassy, through its Cooperation and Culture Department, has launched a plastic waste management project under its French Embassy Fund. The project, worth 753,000 euros, involves 13 Nigerian universities and is focusing on developing innovative and adaptive idea for reducing plastic waste and enhancing campus sustainable practices. Speaking at the inaugural steering committee meeting in Abuja with the participating universities and stakeholders from the National Universities Commission, the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, and the Petroleum Technology Development Fund, and civil societies and the Ministry of Environment, the acting French ambassador to Nigeria, Jean-Francois, said universities are at the forefront of shaping the future, and the project is a significant step towards a more sustainable world. The Armed Forces of Nigeria has disclosed that terrorists and bandits have killed 9 soldiers and 7 other security personnel in Zamfara State during operations since the beginning of June 2024. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, made this known whilst keeping journalists abreast with the operational activities of the Nigerian military in Abuja. Kike Lomo Okere completes the report.
The Director of Defense Media Operations, who expressed sadness over the security personnel, says they were killed in the fight against the menace of kidnapping and banditry in Zamfara State. He noted that the military is conducting several operations to eliminate the terrorists in Zamfara State, whom Governor has acknowledged to be the epicenter of banditry in the northwest.
Indeed, I would say winning the war without the support of the Governor is even more impossible. It must be noted that despite the state being the epicenter of kidnapping, according to his words, the state has no internal security platform for security forces to coordinate operations.
During the week under review, the director says troops neutralized 197 and arrested 310 persons. Troops also arrested 22 perpetrators of oil theft and rescued 251 kidnapped hostages.
And 28,360 liters of stolen crude oil, 143,450 liters of illegally refined AGO, and 1,100 liters of DPK, and over 18,000 liters of PMs in the course of the week.
The Military High Command reiterated its commitment to continue to work tirelessly to restore safety and security across the nation. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
You're watching News Cycle coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times Channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, the federal government eyes $500 million World Bank loan for rural roads. These and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. On the foreign scene, officials say Kiev and Moscow have staged dozens of drone and missile attacks overnight, leaving several wounded in Ukraine and damaging a fuel reservoir site in a Russian border region. The two sides have stepped up cross-border area assault in recent weeks, with Kiev targeting Russian energy facilities and Moscow launching retaliatory barrages. Russia said it had downed 87 Ukrainian drones, of which 70 had targeted the southern Rostov region that houses the headquarters of its military operations against Kiev. In business, the federal government is seeking a $500 million loan from the World Bank to enhance rural road infrastructure and agricultural marketing across the federation. The international lender said the fund is expected to address the dire need for better connectivity in rural Nigeria, where 92 million people currently lack access to good roads. This request was contained in the final draft of the Real Settlement Policy Framework for the Nigerian Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Project Scale-Up, implemented by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. President of the Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, says it is expanding the storage capacity of his refinery by 600 million liters. This, he said, will enable the refinery have a storage capacity of 5.3 billion liters. The Dangote Petrochemical Refinery currently has 4.78 billion liters of storage capacity for refined petroleum products. Dangote spoke at the Afreximbank annual meetings and the Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum in Nassau, the Bahamas, where he alleged that international oil companies refused to sell crude oil to his refinery because they did not want him to succeed. A federal high court sitting in Abuja has discharged executives of the cryptocurrency exchange platform Binance, Tigran Gabayan and the fleeing Nadeem Ajawala. They, though, were dragged to court by the Federal Inland Revenue Service over alleged tax evasion. In a ruling on Friday, the court released both executives following fresh amended charges filed by the service in view of a notice from Binance about its appointment of a Nigerian representative, Ayodele Omotilewa. Even though Binance had no legal representation in court, Gabayan took to the dock to have the charges read to him. In the entertainment world, Nigerian singer and rapper Oladapo Oyebanjo, popularly known as D'banj, has celebrated his 20 years of musical excellence in a sophisticated ceremony. D'banj got the attention of the bigwigs in the Nollywood and Nigerian music scene as he took the celebration to another level entirely. D'banj is best known for his song Oliver Twist, an up-tempo dance fusion of Afrobeat and electronic dance music that topped the African charts in 2011 and was a top 10 hit in the UK singles chart in 2012, reaching number 2 on the UK R&B chart. And running into the exciting world of sport, the Kwara Football Association says it has evidence that money realized from renting out the Kwara State Stadium Complex main bowl was going into private accounts. Amidst the raging controversy over the maintenance of the grass on the pitch, the Football Association said on Thursday in a lorry that it was officially withdrawing its services. Speaking with Newsmen, the chairman of the FA, Idris Musa, said the decision became necessary to forestall a further clash of interest, debunking claims by the executive chairman of the Kwara Sports Commission, Bola Mogaji, that 3 million naira was remitted to the FA's account. And moving to the foreign scene, talking sport, Manchester United will start a €50 million redevelopment of their Cricking Carrington training headquarters next week as they look to transform it into a world-class facility. The Premier League club said in a statement that British architect Foster and Partners will lead a project that will refurbish all areas of the building to support future success. It comes after a review of training facilities reviewed standards had fallen below those of competitors and following the opening of a state-of-the-art women's and academy building last year. As we end the news cycle on Global Television, let's take a look at some of our big stories. That's it on News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times Channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Anthony Momodu saying thank you for watching and see you again.